Hi, social advocates. I hope you are super ready and excited for Class 4. Are you ready for more? Because we are about to dive into a lot more information and I'm super duper excited. So let's touch base. Quick side note, I am eating my lunch while we do this. I haven't put on my makeup yet either. So we're a little bit in transition today. So please excuse if I'm taking a bite of something. But let's touch base because it's definitely been a little bit of time since we've talked. I want to remind you that you're doing amazing. And this is hard. This is all really hard. Trying to get yourself into a different routine, keeping up with deadlines that you're not used to. It's difficult, but you're all rock stars. You're all doing it. You're all remembering. I know most of you have kids. You all have full-time jobs. There's a lot going on. So you're doing amazing. I am thoroughly impressed. I haven't had any real big issues at all. So thank you for being such a rocking team. And mainly, don't give up on yourself. I hope you guys know that you're doing amazing and feel like you're doing amazing and know that you are worth this process. You're worth this growth and this time that you're putting in here. So you're doing great. I'm super proud of all of you and keep up on yourself. Hold yourself to a high standard because you are worth it. So my first question that I want to ask you is, did that break that we had have an effect on your motivation? So I gave you guys an extra week to work on Class 3 because of Thanksgiving, and I know things can get a little bit crazy. Also, I didn't post that much, and I was really curious, and we'll talk about this kind of idea in the next time we have one of our big meetings. But did that pause affect you? And maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Maybe you kind of thought about it, or you didn't really realize you were having a break, or whatever came about. But did you keep working on yourself and your goals without prompting? Does my little Facebook reminders, my little emails that kind of get blasted to you kind of keep this in the front of your mind? Did that affect you? Did not having a class last week maybe take your mind off of doTERRA a little bit more than it has in previous weeks? Do a little self-evaluation. Kind of look at yourself, how that went, what it did, and reflect a little bit. Maybe you didn't realize how far off track you went, or maybe you were doing really great and you never applauded yourself for that. So think about that a little bit, because unfortunately, eventually this class does end, and that's going to push you to do a lot of what we did in class and take the tools and the skills that you learned in class to, do on your own and be independent. So this is a great time to start looking and realizing things and habits that you're in yourself. If you really fell off the wagon, you really didn't do anything last week because you didn't have any, reminders or any deadlines, maybe you need to be really harsh with yourself with reminders or deadlines. Or maybe you did great and you did even more last week than this week. What cause and effects were going on there. And we'll talk a lot about that more in the future, but get those wheels turning. How did Challenge 2 go? Challenge 2 is getting out of your comfort zone twice. You had 3 weeks to accomplish that goal. And I've heard a couple great things about attending classes, hosting classes, networking events, all super, super awesome. I'm actually going to a networking event this evening. I'm really excited about it. It's a career coaching and motivation class. So I've never been to anything like that. So I'm really excited to see who I meet and kind of how that affects me. So those are the type of opportunities you should always really be looking out for. I hope Challenge 2 kind of pushed you forward in doing that and helped you, maybe step out of your comfort zone and get exposed to some more stuff. We will have similar challenges like this coming up. You're not done yet, but kind of think about, did you really challenge yourself to go out of your network, or did you just kind of find 2 things that might qualify? How did that go for you? What was that process like? And then finally, our next meeting is going to be soon. I'm going to be setting that up this week, and it's going to be a Zoom call. I've heard a lot better feedback about Zoom calls for people that don't have Google, Gmail, and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that Zoom will be a lot better for us and work out a lot better for us. I will give you the information way earlier this time. I definitely did not expect all of those hiccups, so my apologies, and thank you for being troopers and making your way through it. I will post the information a couple days in advance. Please take some time and access it and make sure you have everything set up and everything ready to go. So when we do have our next meeting, everyone can be in there on time and we can start on time and get out of there on time as well. So I'll post that earlier. It'll be all over the place. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to me. And one more thing that I wanted to mention, if you are having any struggles, issues, complications, frustrations, anything, please feel free to reach out. You're not alone in this. I know you're online, so you kind of might feel a little isolated, but give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, give mom a call, shoot her a text, shoot her an email, maybe someone else you know in class, reach out to them. We're all a network here. So if you need help, if you're feeling frustrated, reach out. Don't feel, like you're the only one, because everyone has issues. So be a leader, ask for help, be a leader, and help. So we're all going to work together. You're not alone. You're doing great. Definitely reach out, though, if you have anything other than a positive feeling. So like I mentioned before, we're going to go between action class and theory classes. So last class was a theory class. We talked a lot about trust, and I hope that you really got a bigger view of what that means and how to build that and how important it is, and then maybe some steps on how to start building trust with your team and with others. Communication, we touched on that a little bit and how it can always be improved, and how is your communication with your team and how is that working, what can you do? And then finally, managers versus leaders, and how you need to be both, and how there's kind of different stigmas about each one, and so on and so forth. So these are 3 topics we'll definitely touch base on more in the future. We're not done talking about those, especially communication and managers versus leaders. But I hope you had that was a really effective theory class for you. I know that was a lot of discussion, but I hope it, maybe toyed some ideas around in your mind and helped you see some things from a different perspective. So theory class was last class. Class 1 was also a theory class, and then class 2 was a theory class, class 2 was an action class. We talked about challenges and stuff like that and getting out of your network. And then this class is also an action class. We're in class 4. And so theory classes, you can assume that you're going to have, more of your week's work is going to be filling out that more of a lengthy, workbook that I send you, and it's going to be more of me talking and you listening and stuff back and forth. Action classes are we're going to be talking about working on or developing a skill, and then at the end you're going to have to take action. So I don't know if I was super clear about that last time we talked about theory versus action classes, and I wanted to help you understand that so you can understand kind of why we don't talk about, trust part 1, trust part 2, trust part 3 right in a row. We're going to have a variety of it, so you never get bored and you're always kind of on your toes, and that you can, learn and test and do that. So with action classes, this is really where you're going to have an open mind, where you're going to have to be patient with yourself and understanding with yourself. And today, for about 5 hours, I've been trying to figure out this program on Instagram. Can't figure it out. I'm super frustrated because learning something new is hard. So I wanted to tell you that I've been trugging on this all day. It's not an easy task. And I want you guys to know that it's okay to be frustrated and annoyed when you're learning something new. And a lot of these classes for you are learning things new. So if you are frustrated, that's fine. You're in a learning process. You're supposed to be kind of not sure what's going on really until you've had some practice. So in this class especially, keep an open mind, and you're probably going to have to learn some new skills to be confident in what we're going to talk about today. But I promise you, you can definitely 100% do it, and it will help you. So this big lesson that I want you to have a big open mind on is marketing, advertising, social media, and other basics. So we're going to look at all of these a little bit individually today, but this is really a very, very brief, broad overview of these topics. We're not going to get even scratch the surface on any of them, but I'm hoping to kind of get these wheels turning in your head, and we'll touch base on them in later classes. I'll remind you at the end of class, but I want to bring this up now. If anyone is interested or curious or wants to learn more about social media, I've definitely been working to know as much about that as I possibly can for my company, Sharp Spruce. So I have a lot of information that I've been learning and accumulating. And if this is something you're interested in, if you're interested in taking your business more actively on social media, we can have an extra credit class where I'm not going to record it if no one's really interested in it. But if you are, let me know, and I'll do a couple extra, more in-depth classes, and that can just be optional for you if you're interested. But let me know if there's interest and we'll go from there. Today, we're really going to be focusing on Facebook and Facebook events. I think Facebook is a great place to start. So some of this might be an overview for you. You might already know, but stick with us the whole time. So here's what we're going to be covering today a little bit more in depth. How can you market? Where do you begin? What does marketing really mean? A little bit of advertising 101. What are some free resources out there? And answering the question, do you need to be on social media? And finally, just some Facebook and Instagram basics. And like I said, this is a blanket overview, and we're really going to be focusing more on Facebook today than Instagram. So like I mentioned in the last class, I'm breaking your notes into sections. I think this might be easier if you're pausing and starting multiple times to just maybe just work on one section at a time. So this is section 1. I want to start with talking about people. And I think social media sometimes seems very distant from people, and you don't seem very connected, very close, so on and so forth. But especially into a business like doTERRA, it's a very social, a very relationship-heavy business. It's very important to be, interactive with your team and working with others and building relationships. Because really the product is demanding a different lifestyle than someone may have ever lived before. Which is kind of crazy to think about, that if someone's, never really been into a natural lifestyle, this might be a huge transition for them. Or if they're just really curious, they might have a huge learning curve coming, or maybe they've done essential oils their whole life, but, why doTERRA? So you need people mainly because this business requires it. What your product and the structure of this business is a very social structure. It's all about interacting with other people. And like we've mentioned before, you're going to exhaust your current network. That's why challenge 2 is so important. It's getting out of that network, because eventually you're going to touch almost everyone in your current network that's going to be willing to listen. And you never know. Someone might come back and, say, hey, we're interested now, or I saw something and I want to ask you more questions. But eventually you're going to find some exhaustion in that network, and you're going to need to get out of it. You're going to need to find more people. It's really important to connect and be where people are, which I know sounds silly, but if you're trying to build this business and grow this business and you never leave your home and you don't use social media, no one's going to find you, and you're not going to find anybody. So depending on your strengths, and we'll get to that in a little bit, there's a ton of different ways for you to get in front of people, for you to be where they are, whether that's in a physical sense or a digital sense. It's really important to make sure that you're there, because people are going to be asking questions. This is definitely an up-and-coming topic, and holistic lifestyles are becoming more and more popular. You want to be out in the race. You want people to contact you and know that you're a resource, because if you're not out there, they're not going to know. So really, as we go through this process today, start thinking of challenge 1 and 2, because both of them were to, push you out of your current network a bit. We're really trying to, prep you to start leaving your network and feel confident leaving your network. So as we go through, keep thinking of those challenges, how they went when you reach out to people, how they respond. Are you still talking? Did you stop talking? Why did you stop talking? So on and so forth. Start thinking about those dialogues and those conversations that you had. So I'm going to end the you need people topic on people are going to buy things. Why not buy from you? So if they're going to buy laundry soap and dish soap and bathroom cleaner and lemons to flavor their water and melatonin to sleep and allergy medicine, they're going to buy it. So why aren't they buying it from you? Why are they buying it from doTERRA? And then maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they don't understand. Doesn't matter. They're going to buy it. Start thinking they could buy this from me instead of, they're not interested. Does that make sense? Mainly, is to sum this all up, you need to get in front of people. It's important to be in a social network, in a social place. And even if you're not a super, super social person, you don't thrive at a party, that's okay. There's still ways for you to get in front of people, but that needs to be your priority, is always building relationships and being in a people-focused area. So let's get really, really elementary here, and this might seem a little silly, but we're going to break down the words marketing and advertising. And that's mainly because I think these words get tossed around a bit, and maybe they seem overwhelming, or they seem like you don't need it because you're in a big business, so on and so forth. So marketing is a big, big, big term. It's an action or a business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So this means, market research, market analysis, trends, sales, profit margins, who's buying, why they're buying, what they're buying, how often they're buying, all of the numbers and data and information that goes into business is considered under marketing too. So marketing is really, really big. When you say like, how are you marketing? There's a ton of ways to answer that question of, who are you targeting? How much are you charging? Why are you charging that? Could it be more? Could it be less? Is it too high? Is it too small? Blah, blah, blah. When advertising is going to be a little bit more what we're talking about today. It's going to help you pinpoint a little bit more of what you're doing. So advertising is the activity or profession of producing advertisements of commercial products or services. So I hope that kind of clears up what we're talking about when we talk about this. We're talking more about an advertising sense. We're really talking about you getting your name out there and your product out there. So movie audiences are receptive to advertising. Marketing includes advertising. Advertising is more of a specific thing. Okay, so now that I feel like we've got some, vocabulary words, we've talked about, why we're doing this, why are we talking about marketing and advertising? It's because you need people. You need to find new people. You need to grow. You need to develop. You need to reach out. We're going to move into section 2. And we're going to start with, do you need to be on social media? Do you need to have a social media presence? And the flat out 100% honest answer is no. You don't. You don't need to have it. Business has been run for years and years and years without any internet, let alone social media. And people today, run very successful businesses without having a huge social media presence. But you really, really should be. And that doesn't mean you're doing Facebook Lives every day or you're posting 20 times a day. That can mean a lot of different things. And mainly because there are a lot of, tools on social media that can help you, that can make your life easier, that can help remind, organize, connect people. There's a lot going on out there that can just help you. So we're going to talk about social media today, and whether you're like, no, I'm not a social media person, I don't understand it, I don't like it, not about it, keep an open mind. And really, this is where I go back to the, you're going to need to learn new things. A lot of these tools are really to help you, and they're really easy to use. If you're all about social media and you use it all the time, great. Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. You're like, yeah, I use it. It's not really effective for me, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's a little bit more about, refining what you're doing, understanding what you're doing, and having a little bit more purpose. So my little animation got messed up here. Let's talk about what Facebook can provide for you. And I said that we were going to talk about some free resources today, and this is one of them. Facebook can do a lot of things for you. And like I mentioned at the beginning, and I'm going to keep bringing this up, if this is something you're interested in, if you want to learn more about, please, please, please let me know. And I'd love to do more, a couple extra shorter classes on, Facebook and Instagram. But Facebook, I'm going to say, is two big things for you as an advocate. It's events. It can be an event powerhouse for you. And it's also a huge resource. So for events, you can do event creation, easy invitations, way easy to invite people, easy group management and communication. All of your information can be in one spot. And 99% of people, that might be better, let's say 80% of people today have a Facebook or have access to Facebook. So if you put information in one place, you can put the address, the time, the information, the discussion, the invitees, the phone number, all of the things in one spot that people don't have to, go back and sift through a whole bunch of emails, or people don't have to look back at your text. They can go to a spot where the event is there and it's waiting for them. And all of the information's in one spot. It's so easy for you and for your people you're inviting. Facebook events send out automatic reminders. There's already an audience on Facebook, whether it's people that you already know or people that you don't know, depending on what your event is for. Public options, so you can make your event open to the public. So if you're going to do something fun and you just want to invite the community and you want to start, expanding that network and maybe, hitting some of your target people, that's a public options is great. And same with boost options. Boosting, or I don't think it's called boosting when you do an event. I think it's just promoting your event. But it's a little bit of paid advertisement, and you can do it down to, I think, 50 cents. So it can be super, super cheap, and it's really great. Or you can, do a ton of money, but it's going to, so more people see your event. this is the best way to do an event. If you notice a ton of small businesses and even big businesses do events on Facebook, it's the easiest, cheapest, fastest way to connect with people and to build an event. Next, using Facebook as a resource. So the other day, Mom was commenting on, a small business post of like, hey, I'd like to support small businesses, let me know. And she was like, what should I put here? Like, how can people reach out to me? And a lot of times, being an advocate, you don't really need a whole website. But a Facebook business page can be a great tool with, messaging on there, your email, your phone number, your pictures. You can put a ton of articles and information on there. You can put shop features on there. Making a business page for yourself could really be a huge resource for you. You can put on your business cards, and you can make a super easy, www.facebook.com/yourname or doTERRA with your name or whatever. References, you can put a ton of information on there for people to reference back to. Like, oh, it's on my Facebook page. They can go and search your page and find it. It's a great place to keep things public. And, remember, you can make photo albums, you can make video albums, all that stuff. Finding groups and communities. There are endless amounts of groups on Facebook for literally anything. If you have a page, you can connect with these groups, you connect with these communities and say like, hey, I do doTERRA, like who wants to, I'm having an event, come into this event. There are groups, you can be a part of those groups and you can network in those groups. Again, you will find a network. There are tons of different networks, tons of different people. And finally, it's a great way to communicate. So Instagram is a totally different, platform. And you're going to get a lot of different results from Facebook and Instagram, and you kind of have a different user. So Instagram can provide you with a lot of other things. And why we're focusing on Facebook today, because I feel like if you're going to jump into a social media, platform where you're going to start using social media more, for doTERRA, I think you should start with Facebook. But Instagram can also be great. Instagram's all about visual, and it's all about connecting. So hashtags help people find your posts. It's really the new marketplace. I know I've bought things off Instagram. I have a ton of people that buy things off Instagram. It's a really big place for people to go to find new products, to listen to other people. It's becoming a really engaging young audience. So if that's something you're looking to do, if you're looking to engage with a young audience, that's the way to do it. It's going to be a little more consistent and a little bit more work for you, but Instagram, you can definitely find a community there. It's also a very visual platform where content is king. So if you like taking pictures, or you like doing testimonials, or you like making videos, or you like to say, okay, I'm going to use lavender on this scar that I have for a month, and I'm going to video diary my progress with it and say what I like and what I don't like about it. Instagram's a great platform to use that. It really depends on what you want to do. So for today, we're going to focus on Facebook, and I'm going to X out of my little PowerPoint here, and I'm actually going to show you how to use some of the most useful tools on Facebook. So here we are. Here's my Facebook page, and because you're all on our Facebook group, Do Leadership, I know that you all have at least a Facebook page. So even if you're not super comfortable on Facebook, hop on, log in, and it should bring you to this page. Here's all the stuff. I got some ads there for ModCloth, people are working out, family pictures, Starbucks. Actually, that's for a local place here in Helena. Anyways, so tons of different stuff, right? We're all on Facebook. We know it's here. But here's what's great. Right over here, you're going to see groups, you're going to see events, you're going to see pages, you're going to see saved and fundraisers. So we're going to focus, hang on, I don't know if my cursor is on. Let me put my cursor on so you guys can see it. Okay, my apologies if you can't see my cursor, but hopefully you can see what I'm highlighting over here. You can see groups. So these are groups that I've been a part of. We're in a group. So the leaders, that was a different leadership class that we did. So most of these for me are college things. There's a ton more groups that I've been a part of. Some of them I still use actively, like I am an advisor for my sorority in Michigan, in Bozeman. And there's a ton of other things. Some of them I've been invited to, like Beautiful Blessings. My cousin does that. The social biz community, tons of different stuff, fan clubs, advocates, so on and so forth. So that's groups, and you can be a part of a group, you can make a group. You can also do events. This is really where we're gonna focus today. This week, here is how I can find events. Here are upcoming events. This is the event I'm going to tonight. It shows me everything that I've been interested in. You can say you're interested in something, it'll put a little check mark there. Things that I might be interested in because it's similar to other things I've went to. Recent news, so things that are just coming up, brand new. This is what I'm going to tonight. So on and so forth. So it's a great tool if I'm looking for fitness, networking, blah, blah, blah. There's all these categories. So hopefully you're starting to see a little bit of how this can be useful. Here's a calendar of things that, I want to do. Here's people's birthdays, really everything that's going on. So that's groups and events, and then pages are pages that you manage. Usually those are business pages. So I want to break into events a little bit more. So as Facebook being a tool for you to communicate, you're going to come up to this create button. And what's great about the create button is that it is exactly what it says it is. It's about creating. So you can create a page, which page is usually about customers or fans. So think like business. If you wanted to make yourself a business Facebook page, this is where you'd start. Add, group, find people with shared interests. So our Doe leadership is a group. Event, marketplace listing. So this is something if you're selling, or a fundraiser. So we're going to start with events. And so you can choose a theme, upload a photo. We will upload, let's go into here, and doTERRA picture. Uploading a photo, which I'll show you that in a second. You're gonna say your test name, your event name, where it's at. I'll say where I'm at right now to be accurate. So it'll put a pin on a map. There we are. So people can map exactly where you're at. Here's a time, here's a date, we'll say that's good. Okay, so great. So here's what this is gonna look like. Up here, you see create private event. So this means only the people that I invite can see it. Below that is a public event, which means anyone can search for it. And I would really suggest that most of your event to be public events. So if this is, someone's posting this and you're having a class and this allows anyone to see it. But if you only want people that to see it, make it private, if that makes sense. So public event, change a little bit. It clicked me off here. Here we go. Frequency. So let's say you want to have, a public event that happens weekly or monthly or custom. You can do that. Starts, ends, and your times. So details. A couple minutes ago, I showed you all of those categories that people can look for events. Same exact thing. Art, causes, comedy, all of these things. So maybe yours is about health. Maybe it's about fitness. Maybe it's about, maybe it's a networking event. Maybe you want to have a small business networking event. Maybe you want to do, wellness. Any of these, you can pick your category. So we'll say ours is about health. And then, what was that for? Lead schedule. And then any keywords. So if you want, if it's about, let's see, we're having some trouble finding some. So maybe we're doing health, maybe like a health class. Maybe we want to do like learning. Nope, not on there. They're going to populate, I'm struggling for words because I don't have a real class topic here. So here's just a ton. Whenever you have an exact class, it'll be way easier to think of stuff of what you're doing. So you can definitely type in as many keywords as you can find. It's going to auto-populate in here of a ton of different things. So it's here. Put them in there as many as you can. If it's kid-friendly, hit kid-friendly. Messaging. This is so if you want people to be able to message you through Facebook, you can click this on or off. Tickets. If people need to buy a ticket, here's where you put their URL. I'm assuming you're not going to have any events with tickets. Co-hosts. So if you want to add anybody that can help you plan the event, They also have to accept it. And then so posting, can anyone post in your page? Can anyone post, but you have to approve them, or can only the post hosts? And you can display the guest list or not. I always say display the guest list because if someone sees someone they know, they're willing to go. And I would say anyone can post. If they're getting, out of hand, you can change that. So we're going to create it. We're going to make this real. What's here? It's not what your event is about. So it's making me get more specific. So let's do this. Yeah. Always slow, always a process. Great. So here's my event. It's hosted by Sharps, which should be hosted by Liam. That's okay. It's going to say it's hosted by you. You can share it. You can invite friends. This is your way to invite friends. You want to do that. Your about section. Here is what I have. Test, public, where it is, where it's at. Discussion. So if people post, it's going to go here. I've invited nobody. All the details about it. You can add photos. Then here can be your insight. How many people saw it? How many responses do you have? Obviously you don't have any ticket limit. If you want to boost your event, if you want to pay to, boost it a little bit, you can go through this process. So you can add an image. You can use just one. What do you want it to say? Who are you going to boost it to? So you can say people who like this page, people like this page and their friends. You can make one, create a new audience, how much you want to spend, so on and so forth. I'm not going to boost it because we're going to delete it in a second. And then you can share it, you can create it, you need tickets. This is pretty much it. Super easy. Once you, I don't know actually if you can delete it. I think you just have to cancel it. There you go. Cancel event. Delete event. Confirm. There we go. Okay, great. So that is a little bit of rundown of Facebook events. So let's say you want to create a group for your team so everyone can communicate in one place. This is way easier. Name your group, enter the names of the people. So here are my people suggested. These are probably some other people that are frequently in groups with me. And then select privacy. So closed group means anyone can find the group and see who runs it. Only members will see who's in it. You can do a secret group, which means like no one can stumble upon it, or a public group, which means anybody can join. I've been in public groups for things like, like buy, sell pages and stuff like that. A closed group is something that you might want. So if you're like, women in doTERRA or something like that, or if it's going to be just your team, you don't want anyone to find it, make it a secret group. And then I'm going to create it with no people in it. I don't know if it's going to let me. It won't. So when you do create it, it's going to look much like our Doe leadership page. Here are your members. You can click on here. You can see who's the admin. You can see all the other members. If you want to change this picture, change, upload. There's your file search, and so on and so forth. So that is, I think, the two most useful features that, let me get back on our PowerPoint. The two most useful features for you right now on Facebook would be creating groups and creating events. Now, obviously, that's a very brief overlook at it. If you have any questions, if you want me to go over any more, I definitely can. If uploading his pictures is something you're a little bit hesitant on, let me know. I can help you out with that. But those are two really, really useful tools. So if you do create that event on Facebook, it's going to remind everyone who's either been invited, said they're going, or said they're interested. So it's really nice to not have to send out reminders to everyone because Facebook's going to automatically do that for you. Things to keep in mind, people will say they're going and then never really go. People will say they're interested, nothing will really ever happen. You still want to make people feel interested. You still want people to feel personal and connected with you. So if someone's really important to you and you really want them to come, I would still reach out to them over a text or a phone call or a direct Facebook message. This is a great place just to host all of your information. Moving on to section 3. So other than social media, so obviously we touched a little bit on Facebook, how that can be useful for you. Outside of social media, email marketing is still really, really relevant. I know it can seem a little overwhelming because so many people use email marketing, and I feel like we all have, so much spam coming into our mailboxes every day. But it's a very direct way to talk and interact with people. It's still very relevant. Mainly you have to just make sure that, the people that you're talking to are conditioned to checking email. A lot of people don't check their email regularly. But if email marketing is something you'd like to investigate, super, super great idea. Getting people's emails, sending them little reminders, sending them hello, sending them deals. It's a lot more personal than social media is. Emails feel a little bit, they're in between social media and texts, but they're still a very personal form of communication. Services like MailChimp are wonderful for planning and scheduling emails, but most email providers, you can schedule an email to a lot of people all at once. Mail, physical mail, putting something in there. For Sharp Spruce the other day, I sent out postcards to everyone who's ever made a purchase, offering them a discount code and saying thank you for Thanksgiving. A lot of it does get thrown away and never really gets used, but it shows you care a little bit. It's a little old-fashioned fun thing. So if you want to, have more of like a formal big event, or if you want to send out a thank you or something like that, doing traditional mail is going to cost you a little bit more, but it does show a little extra step on your call. Calls and texts, those are never out of the realm. If you're inviting people to give them a call or to shoot them a text, it's still a very, very relevant way to advertise. It's going to be a little bit more labor intensive for you, but when it comes to people that you really care about or you really want involved, I would still do a call or a text. And finally, our flyers. Flyers still work. They're still a thing for a reason. If you want to make some flyers and for an event you're having and hang them up around town, 100% do it. Go for it. I have recently went to events that I found on flyers. You're not probably going to get a huge amount of people flooding your event, but you never know. People definitely still look at those boards around town, have them up there, even just having your card or like a little, some little printout that you can put up, put them everywhere. I put Sharp Spruce flyers in magazines on airplanes, which I know sounds a little crazy, but you never know who's going to read that magazine and maybe they'll get interested. Maybe it'll get thrown away. You don't know. But really, image matters. So whenever you're creating this content, whether you're staying on Facebook, you're going off of Facebook, whether you're doing it all by mail, you're doing it all by call, it really matters how this looks. And I really suggest that you pick some type of marketing or advertising that you want to work on, whether that's flyers or whether that's Facebook, or whether that's Instagram, whatever you're comfortable with. Image really matters, and having something that's visually appealing is super duper important. You want people to stop and look. You want them to be interested. You want it to be visually appealing because there's so much content out there. There's so many things flooding everybody. You want it to look nice. So creating content can be really easy, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. And it can be super fun. So we're going to focus on Canva. And Canva is a totally free program. You can pay for Canva, but we're not going to do that today. So I have logged out of Canva. You can see where my mouse goes. It does that little highlight thing. It's kind of crazy. If you were new, which I'm assuming most of you are, you can sign up with email or with Google. But I'm just going to sign up with my account here. Oh, of course, it's going to not let me in. Hang on. There we go. So you can see down here that I definitely use Canva a lot by all of my Sharp Spruce posts, but ignore that and just kind of look over here at the dashboard. So the only thing you need to worry about right now is this big green button that says create a design. And it's going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. What do you want to create? A social media post, Twitter, social media, Pinterest graphic, a Facebook post, a Facebook app, Tumblr graphic, an Instagram post, a document, presentation, a letterhead, a magazine cover, a certificate, a resume. blogging, marketing materials. Here we go. Poster, menu, flyer, logo, brochure, gift certificate, business card. Like if you want to make a Facebook event cover. So if you're making an event and you want a specific cover, here's a template for that. We haven't talked about YouTube, but YouTube thumbnails, things like that. These are all a big thing. So I'm just going to click on a couple of them. Let's say you want to make a Facebook event header. So go ahead and click that. It's going to bring you here. On this side, under layouts, there are some options. I'm going to scroll down until I find one. Here we go. That are going to cost you. They're not all free, but there are a ton of really beautiful ones, like all of these, that are totally free, which is awesome. So you don't have to pay for them. You just click on them. So because it's almost December, it's December by the time you're watching this, but for me, it's not December yet. And you want to do this one because it's a cute little tree, and you want to say, oh, hang on. Sorry, team. Little glitch there. So you want to, maybe you're making a doTERRA Christmas event, right? And you're going to put all the information down there, and you have this really cool visually appealing thing. You hit download, ping, or JPEG, either one. That just means it's a photo format. You hit download. Hold on tight, we're preparing your design. Ready, and you can see it down here. It downloaded and now it's ready to go. Like now I can just immediately upload it again. Really simple program to use, really, really visually appealing. And what's great is they give you a ton of these layouts. So you don't have to worry about the design, all this crazy stuff. You can just pop it up. And there it is. And it's all done for you, which is awesome. So I highly, highly recommend using Canva for whatever you want to do. If you are making a flyer you want to print out, great. Canva's got your back. You can download it and then just print it immediately. But having such visually appealing, simple, beautiful things, I don't know why these are all about Valentine's Day, but you can search. All right, here's some other layouts. Ta-da! Whole bunch of Christmas stuff. So if I wanted to pop a gingerbread man in there, there's my gingerbread man. This is a really great tool for you to use. It's 100% free unless you want to, buy one of those expansion pictures. But I've used Canva for about 2 years now, and I've never felt the need to buy anything. It was always something that I've liked enough that I didn't need to do it. So hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of direction when it comes to, how do you create something to post, or how do you create something to print, or, what do you even do? Canva is a great, easy place to start. And once you click around, you get really familiar on it really quickly. So here's some other resources out there to get you started. If you're looking for printing, I highly suggest Vistaprint or Staples. I've used both. Their prices are relatively competitive with each other. What's nice about Staples is you can usually get something picked up that day or the next day. Vistaprint is probably going to take you about a week, and they have to mail it to you, but Vistaprint does have more options than Staples does. MailChimp and SurveyMonkey are two other ones. MailChimp we talked about earlier. It's an email service. It is a little bit more complicated, but if email marketing is something you think would be great for you and your team, then I would definitely look into MailChimp. And SurveyMonkey is just surveys. But if you're looking to survey or ask people questions or get feedback on an event or feedback on a product, setting up a SurveyMonkey is a great idea. If you have any questions about any of these, you want me to do a little tutorial of how to use them for you, I'd love to do that for you. Section 4. So that was a lot of information I just threw your way. Kind of gave you some ideas of some places where you could start marketing and advertising, because you need to get out there. You need to get out of your network. So start thinking about your strengths a little bit. What are you good at? Are you a really creative, artsy person? Are you craftsy? Or do you like to make things? Are you more of a teacher where you can sit up and you can instruct and you can point and Are you more introverted? Are you more interested in one-on-ones? Are you more of a online person where you'd rather just hop on the computer and do that? What are your strengths when it comes to this? Think about yourself. Are you chatty? Are you charismatic? Are you empathetic? Are you a problem solver? Or are you, what are those things? And we've identified strengths before, so hopefully you have some in the front of your mind. Now, what do you want to do for your business, and why do you think that's important? So, do you want to grow your team? Do you want to increase sales? What are you looking to do? So we're going to make a plan. So one, we're going to go up that idea. What do you want to do? Do you want more advocates? Do you want your sales of your current advocates to be higher? Do you want to have more classes? Do you want to network more? What do you want to do? Next, how is it going to benefit your business to do that? So you see my background is money, because I said money's never a bad word here. How's it going to benefit you? If you have more people, is that going to push you to a higher pay rank? Is it going to be, more supportive and fun for you? Usually when we want something for our business, it's because we're going to, get financial gain out of it. And step 3, how can you make it real? This is my little wizard over here, because you're going to make these real. It's very, very easy to do. Which brings us to challenge 3, my friends. Have you just been waiting for it this whole time? So based on those 3 steps of what do you want, how's it going to benefit you, and how are you going to make it real, you have to create some kind of marketing or advertising for your business and follow through with the action. So marketing and advertising doesn't mean you just can't make a flyer and say, okay, I'm done, but you actually have to do something with that. So if your strength is, I'm going to pull something that, maybe some of you might be thinking is, I'm a little bit introverted. I am much better at one-on-one conversations. I'm much better at, not having a big event or a big class. Maybe this is your opportunity to go into a couple small businesses and ask to hang up a flyer about your business and say, hey, go into a daycare, go into a Montessori school or a dentist office or a hair salon or a nail salon and say, hi, I'm here. I would love to, talk to you about this business. One-on-one, you're business owner to business owner. You have nothing to be intimidated by. The worst they would say is no. But it's just you and one other person. Maybe like, hey, I'd love to hang up this flyer and tell you a little bit more about it. That's it. You made a flyer. You're going to bring something. You are putting yourself out there. You're doing some type of marketing and advertising for your business. Maybe you want to host a class, and maybe you want to co-host a class. Maybe you want to do it with a friend, and you guys are going to have a class, a Christmas class, and you're going to have peppermint oil hot chocolate, and you are going to talk about On Guard, and you're going to do whatever, and you're going to use a Facebook event for that. And maybe you have a lot of really great advocates and you just want to tell them, great job, thank you, here are 3 tips to get through the holidays with doTERRA, and you want to mail it. You want to make something on Canva and you want to print it and you want to put it in envelopes. You want to start an email marketing campaign. You want to flyer the town. There are endless options. So don't be afraid. If you have any questions or you need any ideas, please reach out to me. Again, I'll post this on Facebook and I will put it in an email that you have to create some kind of marketing or advertising for your business and you have to follow through with the action. So the plan, just telling me what you want to do, is on December 9th. If you want to have a class, if you're going to do flyers, if you're going to go meet local businesses, if you're going to go to networking events with business cards or whatever. And you don't have to physically make anything. You don't have to make a document or a flyer or something. It doesn't have to be that. But the challenge needs to be, so deadlines tell me what you're doing is by December 9th. Please feel free to reach out with email. Oh my goodness. Please feel free to reach out to me with any emails or questions or comments or anything that you might have. If you're confused, let me know. But if the challenge needs to be completed, meaning you to do the marketing or advertising and follow through with the action by January 6th. So you have a little over a month to complete this, which is awesome. So if you want to do a class, it gives you time to do a class. If you want to do a networking event, if you want to do whatever you want to do, whatever type of marketing and advertising you're going to do for your business and whatever you're marketing or advertising for, following through with that action, you need to be done by January 6th. Keep in mind that if you do want to do some type of an event, we are going to, our class on the 16th will be talking about events, hosting, planning, creating, etc. So if that is something you want to do, but you're a little hesitant on, keep that in mind as you make your plans that are due on the 9th. So let's do more. You can do more. You are capable of this. You are competent. You are smart. You're here. So you can totally do this. Make sure to take some time and look through all of the, what we went over today. Hopefully you took some good notes. I know we had a lot of information about very different things, but this is just to kind of start maybe changing your mindset of how you can get your business out there. You need to get in front of new people, and Facebook events and Facebook groups and Canva to help you create some materials are two great places to start. So like I mentioned multiple times before, if you would like more information on this, if this class was super useful for you or, kind of intimidating, but if you want to know more, please let me know. If you aren't, if you're like, I already knew all that, I'm good, I'm over it, then no need to. But if something you're interested in, please let me know. Other than that, great job today, advocates. Please reach out with any questions. Your plan's due on the 9th, and your notes for this class are also due on the 9th. So a lot due on the 9th. Holler if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.